game just to get my fatty. And these lazy ain't got competition. It's me versus me, love Key Talk game.
Key Talk Society, check it out. Before the video gets started, I need y'all to like the video. You know what I'm talking about? You know I'm gonna come with the content every day, all day. You know what I'm talking about? They like the video for me. Take 2 seconds. Anyways. So everybody's been wondering when is the United States gonna go and hit Iran, because Iran are the people that allegedly killed 3 American soldiers. Well, it looks like the U.S. has actually came back and spent the block. You know what I'm talking about? The United States of America is officially, even though they've been doing it, but a part of the head tap game. You know what I'm talking about? When I say they're part of the head tap game, that's because they tapped a few heads. You know what I'm talking about? And to be exact, I believe they said they tapped about 40 heads. Now you might be asking, what in the blue hell is a head tap? A head tap is when you know what I'm talking about, the bullet goes into the head, you know what I'm talking about, or the body period, and they're eliminated, right? Kind of the same way that they allegedly did 3 American soldiers. So America has actually strike back. And when I say they strike back, they hit 85 different targets. Now, I told y'all in a previous video that Iran said if America attacks us directly on our soil, then we're going to have some issues. America said that they didn't want World War III to happen, or no huge war to actually happen. Iran said they don't want a huge war to happen, right? However, America had to get some get back. So they sat and they thought and they thought and they thought, and they realized, okay, Syria and Iraq are pretty much both close affiliates to Iran. So what they did was, and also the machines were, they probably had a hand in the attack as well. So what America did was America went and hit 85 targets. I believe like, I don't know if it was 40 one place and 45 another place. They pretty much tore up Iraq and Syria, right? And pretty much bombed them. I'm talking about bombed them a whole lot. Buildings flying everywhere. People was actually hit. RIP to all the lives that was actually lost. But of course, if you don't understand how the world goes, all these major countries are killing. Everybody's killing. I know in y'all head, y'all probably think that the world, especially if you're from America, you probably think the world is just super peaceful. There's nothing going on. No, people are getting killed. People are getting robbed. Oil is getting stolen. Everything that you can imagine possibly is happening, right? I try to say it like this. Imagine a lot of the stuff that y'all see with the gangs, right? That they spin in the block and they go into the ops side and the ops territory, getting killed for going into ops territory. All that stuff is happening on a major global scale with the countries, you know what I'm talking about? With the countries, especially the countries that are in power. Got bases everywhere. But anyways, let me get into the actual story that we're going to be talking about today. Anyway, so it starts out, the title says, U.S. launches strikes in Iraq, Syria, nearly 40 people killed. Like I said, again, RIP to all the lives that was lost, and RIP to all the lives that will be lost, because this ain't the end of it. I'll tell you that right now. It says, the United States launched an airstrike in Iraq and Syria against more than 85 targets linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard, IRGC. And of course, though, that's the group of people that America believes that actually, did the drone and actually killed 3 Americans and injured 40, right? So they injured 40 of our people, killed 3 of our people. And then, then America just went and killed, head tap. We ain't gonna say kill, we're gonna say head tap. Went and head tap like 40 of their people, right? So it continues and it says, and militias it backs, reportedly killing head tapping nearly 40 people in retaliation for a deadly attack on U.S. troops. The strikes, which included the use of a long-range B-1 bombers flown from the United States, so they came directly from the United States. So, they weren't playing no games, because we know we got weapons and planes and all this stuff all over the world. So they could have came from pretty much anywhere and did an attack, but they came straight from the U.S. to send a message, right? United States were the first in response to the attack last weekend in Jordan by Iran-backed militants, and more U.S. military operations are expected in the coming days. Because think about it. Yeah, we hit 85 targets and we head tapped 40 people. But what did America say? They said that we're going to have multiple days of blowing up stuff, right? So this is just day one. And the fact that this is day one and we're doing our thing over there, I'm already knowing they're going to try to retaliate, because their people are getting unalive, right? So it's going to be more to this. It says the strikes intensified a conflict that has spread into the region since the war erupted between Israel and Hamas. Everybody knows that, right? after the militant Palestinian group deadly assault on Israel October 7th. It says Iran's foreign minister spokesperson Nassar Kanani said in a statement the attacks represented another adventurous and strategic mistake by the United States that will result only in increased tensions and instability. So that just lets you know right there alone that the foreign minister of Iran pretty much saying they about to try to strike back and go head tap some Americans somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Because they said that this was a wrong move by America to go and attack them after they allegedly attacked us. You know what I'm talking about? It continues. It says Iraq summoned the U.S. charge d'affaires in Baghdad to deliver a formal protest. So they're protesting inside of Iraq. Iraq reiterated its refusal that its lands be an area for setting scores or okay, I see what they're saying, right? So Iraq reiterates its refusal that its lands be an arena for settling scores or showing force between warring countries. The Iraq foreign minister said in a statement, Iraq's Popular Mobilization Forces, a state security force included Iran-backed group, said 16 of its members were killed, including fighters and medics. See, that's what I mean when I tell y'all, just like the gangs, how y'all say, oh, the gangs are killing kids and babies and important people. Well, our strike literally killed some medics. You see what I'm saying? And that's just the cost of war. The cost of war is a lot of people's going to die, and a lot of innocent people will die as well. But all the major powers in the world are warring because they want land, they want resources, and whatever else it may be, right? So the world isn't this super cute, fluffy, everything's okay, it's going to be peace. No, there will always be war, and it is what it is, right? That's how power is got, and that's how power is sustained. And pretty much you have no say. You just have to deal with it. You can do all the protesting you want, whatever you want to do, but war is always going to happen, right? Says the government earlier said civilians were among 16 dead, and then look, 16 medics, 16 civilians. So RP to all those that lost their lives. It says in Syria, the strikes killed 23 people. So 23 was killed in Syria who had been guarding the targeted locations. So Syrians had military people guarding the location where they thought the Americans was going to come, right? This is the modern age. This is 2024. The Americans ain't about to have boots on the ground and just walk up and start killing people. They're going to bomb it. You know what I'm talking about? So they should have just had people away if they thought that was going to happen. But I guess, being a country that's doing war, I'm not a war captain or a secretary of defense, none of that. So, it does, it's going to go how it's going to go. But it continues and it says, 23 people who had guarded the target. Okay, location, said Ramani Abrahami, director of the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, which reports on war in Syria. U.S. Lieutenant General Douglas Sims, the director of the Joint Staff, said the attacks appeared to be successful, triggered large secondary explosions as the bombs hit military weaponry. So we destroyed some of their military weaponry. He said the strikes were undertaken knowing that there would likely be casualties among those in the facility. So we did the strike and we knew that there was going to obviously be some type of casualties or something like that. And, but we had to do what we had to do because America can't look weak. That's the whole thing. To the world, America can't look weak. And if America gets attacked and their people killed and that they don't go strike back and put fear into people, that'll be the downfall. Excuse me. So it continues and it says, despite strikes, the Pentagon has said it does not want war with Iran and does not believe Tehran wants war either. Even as Republican pressure has increased on U.S. President Joe Biden to deal a blow directly, that direct blow is what will start a war. That's what I'm really thinking. If we direct blow them, well, they kind of did say if we direct blow them, they'll just hit some of our assets. They didn't say they're going to hit America directly. Whatever country hits America directly is war. It's up and it's up, and it's gonna be a whole lot of head tapping. I'll tell you that right now, and probably some nukes. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, so it says Iran, which backs Hamas, has sought to stay out of the regional conflict itself, even as it backs groups that have entered the fray from Lebanon, Yemen, Iraq, and Syria, the so-called axis of resistance that is hostile to Israel and U.S. interests. So that's what I told you, right? You see how it says Iran wants to stay out of the conflicts, but they're backing other people. And you remember that word I told y'all? It was I gotta remember the word I told y'all. It was like proxies, right? It was their proxies. So those countries that Iran is backing, the places Iran is backing, the groups that they're backing because they're specific groups is fighting, those are Iran proxies. It's the same thing with America, how America sent $1 trillion to Ukraine, which I don't think that was a good idea, but we sent them all that money. That turned them into our proxy. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, that just, it is what it is, right? Well, that's to help them fight Russia. So it's like, see, the big countries ain't really just too much involved, but they're behind the scenes just giving the money and the weapons and stuff like that. So that's just how it's wild, right? How the world actually works. Then it says, we do not see conflict. U.S. Defense Secretary Lord Austin said after the strikes that Biden had directed additional actions against the IRGC and those linked to it. This is the start of our response, Austin said. We do not see conflict in the Middle East or anywhere else, but the president and I will not tolerate attacks on American forces, Austin said. An Iraqi government statement said the areas bombed by U.S. aircraft included places where Iraqi security forces are stationed in civilian locations. It said 23 people had been wounded in addition to the 16 killed. And then, of course, there's a picture of let me see. Oh, yeah. So it says the White House said the United States had informed Iraq ahead of strikes. Baghdad later accused the United States of deception, saying a U.S. claim of coordination with Iraqi authorities was founded. So America's like, hey, we about to come strike y'all, just so you know. And that's probably why they put those people over there to guard them, which they shouldn't have done that because they know America's about to come with planes. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know. Anyway, so it says the White House said the United States had informed Iraq ahead of strikes. Baghdad later accused the United States of deception, saying a U.S. claim of coordination with Iraq authorities was unfounded. On Friday, Iran's president Abraham Raisi said his country will not start a war, but it will respond strongly to anyone who bullies it. He did not mention the U.S. strikes in a speech on Saturday, marking Iran's space technology day. So, I mean, that's the thing. I'm talking about you have to really come with it if you're going to really have to come for America. I'm not saying it's the biggest and the baddest, but I am saying that there's a whole lot of weapons that will cause a whole lot of destruction to everybody and anybody that actually tries it. Before America just goes down and gives in, it'll probably destroy the entire world. I know it sounds wild and crazy, but before a complete defeat up to the point to where it's just completely gone. What happened whenever, never mind, let me not get into that. Let me just finish the story, right? It says, Iran's ambassador in Damascus, Hassan al-Ghabari, and comments reported by the semi-official Far News agency played down the airstrikes, denying Iran-linked targets were hit and saying the aim was to destroy Syria's civil infrastructure. Hamas said the Washington was pouring oil on fire. Look, what in the blue hell? Britain called the United States its steadfast ally and said it supports Washington's right to respond to attacks. So all this is just wild, bro. All this is wild. Y'all probably be thinking this world it's just so sweet and stuff like that because y'all probably just be watching the regular news and stuff like that and just, let's just see what's on the news. Oh, okay. Well, we're just defending ourselves. Oh, yeah, they attacked us, so we're just no. We slaughtering, everybody's slaughtering, all the countries are slaughtering, and they all have the reasons on why they're doing it. It's not like it's just one super innocent country or whatever like that, right? Everybody wants power. Everybody wants the best for their citizens, allegedly, and that just requires control. You know what I'm talking about? Whoever's the biggest, baddest, strongest, they're going to control more land. They're going to control more of the resources. Even if the resources ain't on their land, you know what I'm talking about? You got to spin a block and go get it. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever you need, you got to get it that way. Anyway, so we've been covering this for a minute, you know what I'm talking about? A little while, you know what I'm talking about? A few videos. We said that was America going to strike back? When they was going to strike back, they finally strike back. How do y'all feel about it? Let me know some. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this entire ordeal. I'm out.